Alright everyone, a new day, a new radio. Well, a different radio I should say, not a new one. But I haven't done one of these in probably 7 years or so, maybe 8 years. I'm not sure. It was around 2015, I think. The last one, maybe 2016. This here is a Philco Model 40-145 T. I guess the T is indicating table radio. I don't know if they really needed to do that, but they did it. So anyway, it's a nice compact little radio, and it's got 3 bands to it. It's got a standard broadcast band, what they called then was a police band, 1.5 to about 3.5, and then 6.0 or 5.5 until 18 shortwave band. So all the knobs and the buttons are there, even the button call letter scutcheon is with it. So that'll clean up pretty nice. The buttons are a little stiff. Don't seem to want to perform as intended. It's missing a little veneer here and there. Up here on the front. These here are usually cracked. I think the last 2 that I did on this was cracked. The girl cloth is going to be trashed. The knobs, hopefully they will come off to a certain, hopefully, degree. But it looks, this cabinet is solid. We'll see about that speaker when we get the thing out of the cabinet. Let's take a look and see what Radio Museum has to say about this particular radio. 39 to 40, it's a broadcast receiver. And you know, if you look at all these individual pictures, and they're mostly of the front of the radio, they don't show you too much of anything else. Vanity, I guess. So, 6 tubes, RF tube, Chinkawonky tube, that's an IF tube, that there's a detector tube, that there's the Chinkawonky second tube, and that there is the rectum fire. Broadcast shortwave police, 15 volt. Excuse the wind, we're starting to experience a brisky day here. 2 watts, unknown power out, wooden case, early. 40T and 45T are similar except for push button on one and not the other. And so anyway, we're going to have a little fun with this one because on the last one that I did, or maybe the last couple that I did, they were pretty involved because, as with most of these Philco radios of this era, of this model years, 40 through 42, maybe even 39 to 42, the band switches they go wonky. I mean, they get really gummed up, and you really need to dive deep on these in order to get them to perform well, or perform as designed. See at the bottom's all flat. No stickers on the bottom. Let's take a look. Let me spin this around if I can without sweeping everything off the table. 4145, code 121, 115 volts, 50-60 cycles, 40 watts, barbecue, fuki fracas, smoke-a-maiga. I can reproduce these. I got these already reproducible. So let me grab my implements of destruction and we will open this baby up. Hang on. Oh yeah. Looks like somebody was feeling right at home for a while. There, hopefully not too many things are chewed up. Looks like the wiring on the field coil is been chewed on. At least this, from this point of view. Got sticker there, and I'm not sure what the heck this is. 20 Columbia Avenue, Chevy freaking practice. Apparently this radio has been serviced once, at least once. So we will throw this in the bag over here and save it for posterity or something. Yeah, see, rubber wiring in here. This has been chewed on. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little extra effort on this one. See this one here, that one there is same way. There is the there is the indicator and dial string. I'm not really sure if it's broken or not. It's going to get new string anyway. All the tubes appear to be there. And sticker there, model and code there. I can reproduce these. As a matter of fact, I already printed one for this model. So let's unpack this Christmas gift and see what we have here. Alright, we got all the bedding and the mattress material out of here. We're going to go ahead and pull the bolts on the bottom and bolts on the top and remove the chassis and the shortwave antenna. So stand by. Well, it looks like Chip and Dale has been living here. Anybody remember Chip and Dale? Yeah. They must have partied hardy a time or two. So we got the chassis backed out of there. There is a fastener up here and over here that that are grommeted, rubber grommeted with a ferrule and screwed into these portions up here and over there. That is so that you don't push the dial, tip this dial top back when you push the push buttons. This keeps the thing fastened to the front so that when you experience a problem pushing the button in, you don't shove this thing clear through the back of the radio. This is as scummy as I figured it would be, because most radios that are vented and everything else like that are open backs, and they get this crud all over them and everything. The dial string looks like it's still in one piece. I mean, it looks pretty good. There's no fraying or anything like that. Yeah, there's a issue there with that. With not only with that lead wire into the field coil, but also, you know, a lot of this other wire here. I don't know why the heck they. I mean, they had wire like this. I mean, why in the hell couldn't they just, you know, get some black wire and the same thing? I mean, they had it back then. I guess somebody wanted to shave a few nickels off the cost of the radio, I guess. Yeah, the speaker looks... It's split all the way down to there from up here on the rim. And it's starting to split right there. Anywhere else a split? No? Okay. Yeah, at least they, you know, at least they did got a little dribble in there. You know, not like a dog or a cat, you know, that doesn't crap or piss in their living quarters, you know. Go someplace else, you know, and then come back, and don't stink up your abode with your commode. So let's take a look at the bottom and see what we got here. Hard to say. She was squirting. Ah, yeah. This one here was a gushing too. Wow, that's the first time I seen. It's the first time I seen one like that. First time. I didn't notice it in any of the other radios. Yeah. Look at that red wire in there. Yeah, the IFs are rubberized. And that one there is not looking too good either. On the front end of that band switch. I think I got some of those, especially for the Philcos, because they use those later on in the button array that tend to go sour. Yeah, I don't see. There's some fricka-frackus there. I'm gonna have to take and repair that. But everything else looks, you know, peachy. All this wire like this, and they couldn't use it, you know, anywhere else where they... I mean, didn't the designers design for heat also? I mean, some of these tubes put out some pretty good heat, you know. The minimum I've ever seen them is around 95. Maybe 92, but generally they fall somewhere in the parameter of 130 with the power output tubes and the rectifiers pushing these type, Loctral type, are probably going to push about 250, maybe around there, but the octal type, they'll push 350 easy. So you get a couple of push pulls in there, and you got a pizza oven. Yeah, this thing here is going to have to. This is all coming apart. It is coming apart. The IFs. Let's see what the IFs look like. Yeah. they're not gonna have an issue, except for the rubber wiring. And it looks like we're gonna have to do all the power feeds for all the tubes. And plus some block capacitor. So yeah, look at that right down in there. That's all going to have to be taken care of, as well as the crap that's up on the Philco. So it looks like this one here is going to be fun. This here is coming out. Speaking of this here band switch, you know, my last posting was the operation video for the airline radio, the 729A. Well, to my, sorry for the wind, let me go in and get inside so that you can hear me much better than the wind that's blowing through here. We'll come in here and shut that down so it doesn't throttle around here so much. Yeah, I had to open this thing up, and I broke my rule of thumb, and I generally don't break it that often, but you know, there's times that you can break rules and get away with it, and there's other times that you break rules and you got to deal with the grief involved and making it right. And what happened was, remember I said that this one here wasn't doing that well on shortwave. I mean, it was coming in and coming out, and it was, I don't know if you'd call it adequate, but I mean, it was there. At least through a portion of the full dial. But I noticed that whenever I would take and put my long wire on there, if I was to touch it like that, I would get a definite response out of the radio in a bunch of hash, you know. I mean, it would let you know, hey, something's going on. Well, it would hardly do it. And I couldn't figure out what the heck was the problem. I jiggled the band switch, I jiggled this, I jiggled that, I jiggled my butt, and I shook my weenie, and it still, it just wasn't right. But finally I got to thinking that, I don't know if you guys noticed it whenever I showed the band switch in an earlier in progress video. It was not that gnarly, but it had oxidation on it. And I thought I could clean it out, and I did it on a couple of different occasions, and I even used automotive cleaner on it. You know, the kind of like a carburetor cleaner on it, and figured that, well, you know, that should do it. It looked pretty good and everything. Well, last night, which is, today is Monday, Sunday night, after making another test on this radio to see if shortwave was coming in or not, and I didn't get much good of a response, I decided to unpack it again, take it, flip it over, go in, clip all the wires on the band switch, and pull it. and stick it out there in my dippity dip, and for 2 or 3 hours this morning, and cleaned it up, and got it all, you know, how my usual routine is. Stuck it back in there, and she's performing a lot better. A lot better. I mean, 200 times better. So I'm going to give it a shot again this evening and see if we got better improvement on it. Yeah, I broke my rule and decided to take the alternate route. I took the fork in the road and stabbed myself in the rear end for it. Fork it. So just keep that in mind whenever you go to, if you attempt to do radios of this. I know there's not a lot of people that will break down a radio like I do. I know, because I watch them, and they get skittish. Even in an AM radio, they get skittish, real skittish. I know one right off the bat that lives north of the border, that the northern border, that is, that freaks out just catching a glimpse of himself in the mirror. But go the extra mile and you won't have any grief, especially if you're going to put that radio on the market, because people don't like it whenever they spend a lot of money on a radio and then all of a sudden, you know, they just can't get it to function like it should. And even on the AM band, I mean, that it will have some effect on that also. So that's all I wanted to cover on this radio. I've got to close this thing back up and make a test on it again tonight, and then we will close it up, and then it will go on to eBay. So that's all I wanted to cover on that. Excuse me, I just had me some tacos, chili tacos. Until I get this off the bench, we're not going to have a power up on that Philco 145. We're going to get this out of the way first and clear the bench so that we can bring that 45 in there in the next video, and do a power checkout on it. So thanks for letting me bend your ear. And hey, you know something else? One of my subscribers had called me and told me that the WWV broadcasts only on a certain certain frequencies: 2.5, 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know, maybe 22. I'm not sure. You can get that through Google if you Google it for WWV. You know, whenever I said WWV at 10 and then WWV at 9, well, it didn't dawn on me. So, and I had never heard of it before, doing it on any other frequencies. So, thanks to my subscriber for that, keeping me honest, and because I don't want to look like you know who. Thanks for watching.